let's get back to the board now because Po has something interesting to show us too. And this is about a team.
Yeah, you continue.
Yeah, this is about a team that had, I think, one of the most shocking transfer windows that I've seen in a long time, where they've signed like 20 plus players. Because I think last season.
In the last,
and they were just like changing one manager after the other, and basically this was, let's just throw everything on the wall and just see what sticks. And what stuck for them is Nuno, because somehow they're left with this manager who is playing fast attacking direct football and a set of players who are great at playing fast attacking direct football. And it's very refreshing to see Nottingham this season, because it's not a thesis on attacking. It's just ping the ball, run, score. Po, do you want to give us some insight on how they set up and how they play?
So you touched on the backstory a bit also, so I just wanted to add some meat to that bone. In 2024, when Nottingham, last season, when they ended the season, they ended it with the least amount of points that could give you safety. 32 points, which was the least amount total that a surviving team got, okay? And couple that with the erratic, absolutely mental transfer strategy that you guys talked about, people obviously thought they were heading straight back to relegation. But that's not the case. Halfway through this season in December, I think December 3rd, when they had played like 20 games in, Nuno was sitting third at 40 points, level with Arsenal, 6 points behind Liverpool. So that was the same pace Leicester had in their title-winning season. Of course, this season they can't win the title, but they have turned their fortunes around completely. So ever since Nuno was signed, he's obviously said, no thanks, I don't want anything related to do with possession. I'm going to be the antichrist.
Not interested.
Not at all interested. I don't want anything. I don't want to touch the ball. So he's basically averaging, his team is basically averaging 39.6% possession.
That's
which
crazy.
Is the least this season. And I think it has been only beaten by Sheffield United like a couple seasons ago. Ever. Since...
And Sheffield went straight down, right? Yeah.
So their metrics are horrible. I'll get to that. But Nuno's built this squad on a solid backline. He had Murillo, he had Nico Williams, and he had Ola Aina. He's added a player called Nikola Milenkovic, who's given them incredible aerial ability, which they severely lacked before. He's a huge bloke, 6'4" in height, and he's led that defense and that team to have the least amount of goals conceded from set pieces,
right,
as well as just fall short behind set piece FC in terms of the number of goals that they've scored. So you all
Which
know,
team is that?
I don't want to bring it up. Everyone knows about it, and it's a good thing.
Which team do you support?
Arsenal.
Does this club have a mural for a set piece?
Yeah, let's go. Jovic for the win. Sorry, I messed up his name. I'm sorry. I shouldn't taint the morale. So, just to get back to where I was,
by the way, Newcastle scored against United.
Oh, yeah.
They 1-0 up. Sandro Tonali.
I was trying to rush this episode through to go and catch some of the
I think we're good now. Let's just
do all 20 teams.
So, along with this incredible defense that he's gotten, he's added Matt Sells also, a crazy goalkeeper who's, by the way, who's on course to get the Golden Glove, and he's going to be the first, if he does, he's going to be the first goalkeeper outside of the traditional Big Six to win it. So wow. It's a huge achievement in itself. So
can I just before we move away from the defense, I think Murillo and Ola Aina have just been incredible. I genuinely think those two should be in the Premier League team of the year. Yeah. Ola Aina for sure is a lock.
He's up there.
He's just been amazing. He's so good at everything. He's like a complete proper right back. None of this, he needs to be able to cross the ball from halfway line. He's really good at his feet. He's really strong in the tackle. He's excellent in his athletic ability in charging up and down the pitch, covering back the space.
He runs a lot.
He's a great player. He's a really great player.
Oh, do you want to use the board?
I will get to that. Just give me a minute. Don't rush me, Amar. So another big improvement though was, compared to last season, was their ability to hold on to leads, okay? So last season, when throughout the season actually, they were led 19 times in games, but they managed to convert those into wins only 9 times, which is just 47% of the ratio there.
Wow.
This season, I'm talking only up to halfway point, they had 15 games wherein they led and they won 12 of them. So the conversion rate here has gone up to 80%, which is a huge improvement from last season.
Like from personal experience, we just played Forest. They went 1-0 up early. We created loads of chances. We were the better team. Possession, chances, everything. Just could not break them down.
Yep.
So yeah.
So I'll get to the board now. Okay, so they play in this traditional 4-2-3-1 formation with Olaina here, your Murillo and Milinkovic here, and who's this again? Okay. Shit, I'm sorry. Okay, the left back here. Okay, and they play with Ryan Yates and Anderson here. The front three is incredible. Like the front three behind Chris Wood here is incredible. Elanga, Gibbs White, and Hudson-Odoi, and then Chris Wood here. Okay. So what happens in this 4-2-3-1 is they stick to this formation. In possession, these four are up front here. These two are your engine and your. They're the heart of the team. They'll give you the intensity. They'll give you the pressing. They'll give you the ability to win balls also. So these two, they firmly sit in front of the defense and do not move position, by the way. So that's one of the great things about this team is defenders are meant to defend, attackers are meant to attack. None of the bullcrap about total football, no interchanging positions. What we spoke about Inter last week also is completely out of the window here. So in defense, they fall into mid block. And these four, anything about normally a mid block is that beyond the halfway point, the entire team is stationed here, and as soon as the opposition get to the middle third here, the front three or four also squeeze in, the back four also squeeze up, try to constrain position and space.
So there's no space in between the lines basically when they're all
But what Nottingham do is these six they stay firmly here, they don't move up, and these four are up here at the halfway line. So what these four try to do is they cut out the passes every time, but in case an opposition player moves into this space here, there's still a solid six in front of him and he can't move, but he can't freely pass the ball or dribble across. So he's stuck here in no man's land without being able to go to the half space or go out wide here, okay? So this is how they play usually. And the beauty about this is none of the players end up running from one end of the pitch to the other. They are good where they are, and this allows them to conserve energy, and he's also managed to keep the same 11 because they're injury free. They don't run as much. They just are defined to their particular roles and they're stationed there. Some of the stats though, after all of this, is completely contrary though. They're 15th on attempts on goal, which is average, bang average, okay? They're 15th on XG, that is. They're 20th for attempted passes as well as completed passes.
That's crazy.
So they do not want the ball whatsoever.
I mean, even the Leicester title-winning team did not have metrics like this, right?
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. Yeah.
They hate pressing, as I said. No, like they don't want to touch anything. So their tackles in the opposition third are the last in the league. In the middle third, they're the second last. But when it comes to their own third, they're the third highest, like third best team there. So all of the defending happens here and they're good at it. Okay. Just to add to that,
are you having difficulty reading your own handwriting?
Yep.
I want you to look in the camera and say that, because the moment I saw this, right, I knew this is going to happen in the episode, by the way. I absolutely knew that this is going to happen.
Okay, I lost where I was. Okay, let me come back to this. So the owner, no, he's a erratic person, as I touched upon, Angelo Marcanis. To the incoming sign-ins, what you said, he overhauled the complete squad when they came up. In 22-23, when the first season, they signed a 30 number of players they signed for their squad. Complete overhaul. This was like Chelsea that season.
Yeah.
20, 30 people that they signed it. And only 7 of them are still in the club, okay?
That's insane.
They've moved on, all of them.
And it's like, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah,
it's
that was
like,
2 years ago.
Yeah. So they've moved on like 25 players in like 2 years. That's incredible.
The next season, they signed 17 people. Again. So it's sort of like a trial and error strategy. It's on a huge scale, and they're trying to see, as you said, see what sticks on the wall. They're throwing shit and sees what sticks. Amazing. That's their policy. And I forgot to touch upon Chris Wood, man.
What a season he's having.
He's been sent from the footballing heavens to spite and smite XG. The whole concept of XG, and anybody who follows it. I'm very happy about this though, because he has attained an XG of 9 this season, managed to score 17. And this is as of I think 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. So that's like 100% more than what data tells. Obviously, like XG tells that these are outliers and then they'll come back at some point. But who cares about that now? Like if he manages to get them to Europe playing like this, that's a win-win situation.
And I think like that's also one thing we should be clear about, that we've been talking specifically about the top 5, but it's very unlikely that Forest are going to drop to 9th, meaning that they are going to get European football, which for a team like Forest is huge.
Yeah, massive.
But I think they're going to stick to 3rd though. Like after all of this, the season that they've had, and Nuno been like managing the team very specifically and ensuring that the entire team stays fit and intact, I think they're going to go through to the Champions League, staying at 3rd.
And let's not forget that they're in the FA Cup semis as well. So
that's another backdoor route.